starting the podcast. We're here with our great guests, Elliot and Joe. We're going to hear a little bit about them. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Right now I'm a sophomore at Temple University. I went to Lancaster Catholic, huge sports geek, played about 5 different sports at Lancaster Catholic, and that now I'm majoring in sports management at Temple University. My interesting story is I just recently had to take this year off because in December I got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Here also with our friend Elliot. What's up, Elliot? How you doing, man?
What's going on? I'm doing well, thank you. So, background of myself, I am currently 21 years old. I live in Lancaster, PA, currently. About a year ago I was diagnosed with leukemia and kind of put a pause in my life. Ended up moving back with my parents and, not being independent anymore. It was a big change, I think it ended up being a good development for me because it's about resilience.
Hello everyone, Leo's in the building here as well, and as we talk about resiliency, which means to bounce back from setbacks.
Yes.
I'm curious, what are some setbacks that you guys have had, and how have you overcome them?
So, my main setback in life was obviously 20 years old and coming home and finding out, I have stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. My whole life got turned upside down. And when I think of the term resiliency, I think of recovering from adversity or the ability to bounce back. So, when I got first diagnosed with stage 4, for about 4 days, I had no idea how bad it was, to the point where I didn't know if I was even going to have a chance to fight the cancer. So, at first when I got diagnosed, the whole thing is, why is this happening to me? And, I started getting pissed off or frustrated, and you look around to all these other people, like your friends and stuff, and you see them all not having to go through this. So what I had to come to terms with, and that everyone in life has their own challenges and struggles that they have to deal with. And some are much tougher than others. And I think what makes someone great is the ability to overcome or bounce back from those obstacles. So I ended up finding out that I was able to have a chance to fight my illness. And the first, I'd say about 4 months, I had to do 8 rounds of chemo, and it went really well. When I first started off, I had lumps all over my body, and they ended up going away. So I'm going in for my next PET scan, and thinking everything's going to be good. I'm going to find out I'm cancer-free. Not cancer-free, but that this is all killed. Everything's going smooth as planned, and I find out that this illness or disease has not been totally killed. And that was probably my lowest point in this whole thing, where I wanted to give up or, stop fighting. And that's when I really had to come back to the term resilience. With human nature, I feel like when you have struggles or, adversity, we look at it as a negative. And what I had to do, and what I felt, which really helps me in my way of fighting this, is to look at it as a positive and a way to absolutely grow from this horrible struggle or disease that I had to overcome. The biggest thing that I look at from a personal standpoint on the definition of resilience is that I don't think resilience is only overcoming one type of struggle or challenge or adversity. I think it's continuing, because everyone in life is going to continue to have struggles. I had my first struggle in December when I found out I was diagnosed. And then I found out again 4 months later that I still had this illness, and I was going to have to go through another 4 months and 2 weeks in the hospital, having to do a stem cell transplant and pushing back my time to get back to school. So I feel resilient. The biggest thing with resiliency is not only to overcome one type of struggle or challenge, but to continue to overcome those struggles or challenges. I'm not going to go through this whole thing with fighting cancer and make it some type of waste. I'm going to try to get as much as I can out of it, and I feel now, from where I started to where I am now, I'm much more stronger as a person.
Yeah, something that I love about you and your story, Joe, is that it's not you don't tell it like a sob story. For you, it's a mindset, which is really cool. It's like that you're going to have struggles and adversities that you're going to go through, but you take on those adversities head on, and you have this mindset like, it's not going to hold me down, and everybody has them.
Awesome. So one thing about resiliency is that we help each other grow as we're going through things, and it's such an amazing feeling to have that and see like other people getting empowered through it. And with you, Alec, like you're an amazing guy. I've met you 4 or 5 times, like teaching the cube, the Rubik's cube. Even though we were really fans of that. So for you, how do you see resiliency playing into your life? Currently, what you're going through, and how do you see what do you want other people to get out of that?
Right on. I think I could really relate to Joe, and through me getting leukemia and it becoming like a reality was all like a really slow and long process. Like I think resiliency doesn't develop in one night. Definitely took a lot of time for me to get to that point where I could say that I kicked cancer's ass. You know what I mean? Like
that's great. And something I'm curious about is that everyone has high points and low points in their lives. And what did you have to think to really switch the situation around, like you just said, and see it from a positive side?
I always felt like I was put on this earth to help. The best way I could put it is like no pain, no gain. Like you gotta go through struggles to be strong, to be durable, to be resilient.
How are you going to make sure that your adversity is going to be turned into an advantage?
So I feel I can already tell the difference in myself from going through this process, as Elliot probably could, into it in a way strong. Before this process, if I would get extremely bent out of shape about say when I was back in school, a midterm or a certain test, I would get bent out of shape. When at Temple, we have career fairs and you have to make a resume and go up to different desks and talk to employees, and that would be something that would totally I wouldn't have. Not that I wouldn't have the courage to do. I would be so afraid I wouldn't be myself, and stuff like that. Now going through this process of cancer, of having to fight cancer and dealing with the certain different challenges that I felt through cancer, as sure as Elliot has too. There's so many things in life now that can't, in a way, get us down after what we've had to go through. Failing a midterm or going up and talking to an employer and
waking up at 5,
waking up, not working out. That's nothing compared to finding out in a way that you're getting diagnosed, or finding out that you have a relapse or something like that. So that makes you so much stronger as a person, even coming on this podcast now and talking to you guys and talking, to the people listening to this. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable with doing that at all. But going through this process, it's made me more mature and stronger. Not only going through cancer, but an extreme other type of adversity that other people go through.
It's all the mindset. A big part of completing, this treatment that I'm going through and everything is, and healing is mental state of mind is one of the biggest things. And if you're not in the right mental state of mind, you definitely, it's a whole other disease. It's a whole other sickness.
So, they think of you're gonna lose your hair. You're gonna be sick. I personally think that the physical pain of cancer is nowhere near the mental pain of cancer. Not knowing, like Elliot said, like when I got diagnosed, it's not so much of you thinking in life like, oh, am I going to live a good life? Am I going to have a great time in college? Am I going to have like a family? Am I going to get a good job? It's like, am I going to make it past 25? The mental, it changes. You're sitting around and you're watching your friends and stuff and people experience things that you would love to be experiencing right now, but you can't because of your disease that holds you back. So in a way, in your head, you have a bunch of different things, going around, and that's when you bring back resiliency. Is that it is extremely hard to overcome, and like you have those days where you want to give up and stuff, and that's what I think when I looked at it. And when I got especially that second news of finding out that I still had cancer, I looked at it and I said, I'm going to make something great about this. I'm going to, Elliot said you can have in your back pocket that you beat cancer. I'm like, I'm going to make something, this is absolutely horrible, but I'm going to make something absolutely great with this. I'm going to grow so much. That's what being resilient is all about.
And we are all afraid of like people feeling pity for us. We don't want to feel pity, but it's so empowering to share. I don't know. I feel empowered by your story and your story, and I've come to realize that people are going to feel inspired by my story, and it's just the way kind of the world works.
I don't see why people think being adverse is bad. Take pride in who you are, and don't fall into a category. I know, like, I'm not alone. There's other people going through the same thing, and if not worse than me, and there's hope. Take pride in what you have.
Yeah, how do you share your story in such an empowering way?
Yeah,
It's cool.
I try to share my story in an empowering way. If I would have found out after that 8 treatment that it was all good and I would have had 4 treatments left and I would have been done in June, then, that would have been great. You defeated cancer and everything. But I think after going through my 3 extra months and staying in that hospital for 2.5 weeks, which is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and going through that intense chemo treatments and that extra time, makes me so much more proud of my story, makes me so much more stronger as a person, and made me have to overcome such even bigger challenges. So in a way, that's how, when you look at your struggles that you're going through right now, you want to look at it. You don't want to get down and, make it a sob story, even though it's horrible. You got to try to look at it in the best way possible and to overcome that. And then when you get done that, you get to tell people and help other people that are going, because there's always other people going through the same thing as you or worse than you. Then you get to help them fight their challenges and struggles, and people will look up to you for that. So, the worst thing you can do is let your challenge or the adversity that you're going through or struggle win or overtake you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Elliot, for coming in, sharing your story and your challenges, and also how you bounce back. So a lot of times we share about our setbacks, but we leave it at that, and people don't realize that we bounce back from it. But no, thank you so much, and hopefully we get to play some basketball soon. So what do you want to leave us with today after hearing your story, and what do you want to leave the people who are listening to this?
So what I would leave is, almost in a way, embrace, if you can, embrace your struggle or challenge that you're going through right now, and try to get as much goodness or great from it for yourself. A quote that I thought about a lot when I was, going through this is, it's life isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit. And I like to think, that I could get hit, and Elliot too, that we could get hit pretty damn hard and still get back up. Just look at it as like, I'm going to overcome this amazing struggle, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, so, I think, overall, we have to look at challenges as an opportunity, as an opportunity for growth mentally, physically, spiritually. As a test, challenge yourself, because challenges will make you more durable. That struggle, man, you gotta go through the lows to know your highs.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much again. This is very inspirational. Like you guys said, it's about your why. Find your why and just keep moving forward. Right? Life is not about what happened to you, but it's about what you choose to become. Never give up. Thank you so much, and see you guys in the next episode. Boom!